Tonight, heightened tensions as police urge vigilance before acting on misinformation online. There's anger after an innocent man was targeted by those claiming a right to protest. It follows several sex attacks in Glasgow.
We've had 3 protests this week across the Glasgow area, and with each of those protests, some of the content online has been false, absolutely false.
Also making the headlines, more householders in Clackmannanshire are ordered to leave their homes. They've been served dangerous buildings notices due to ground movements. Mining authorities are investigating. The Scottish SPCA calls for a national register of animal offenders after a couple who abused dogs they were supposed to be looking after were given a 2-year ban on keeping animals.
And in sport, it's been another cracking day at the Renaissance Club. I'll have the very latest on day 2 of the Scottish Open.
I'm Emma Cameron. This is the STV News at 6. Good evening. 6 householders in Clackmannanshire have been told they must leave their home over concerns about the safety of the buildings. It follows ground movement in Colesnaughton. 2 properties had already been served notices. The Mining Remediation Authority is investigating and says it's working with the local council to support residents. Well, Brandon Cook is there for us this evening. Brandon, what's the latest on this?
Yeah, Emma, just in the last couple of hours, residents here in the Langure area of Colesnaughton were served building eviction notices due to ground movement. We watched and arrived just as they were hand-delivered. Only a couple of residents knew about this beforehand. 2 that we spoke to received a call from the council shortly before the papers themselves were served. We know that 6 homes in this area were told to evacuate here today, taking the total number in this street up to 8. As you can imagine, an incredibly worrying time for the residents here in this area of Colesnaughton, who had previously only been advised to leave this area, but now they're being told to go. It's a thing that many here just can't take in because many still believe that their homes are safe. Can you understand why it's been served in that case then, with all that in mind?
No, I can't. I understand that it's a dangerous situation, but no, I don't think that there is a fundamental data-backed decision-making process to serve these papers. I think it's entirely convenience or weaponised incompetence.
And then what happens for you guys now? What have you been told is the next steps?
Well, according to this, we need to leave. If we don't, they'll get a warrant to remove us. And if we do leave, or if we're forced to leave, it can be up to 12 months before we're allowed back into these streets.
The frustrations are the lack of transparency from what is called the Local Resilience Partnership. The MRA are giving us data that says we're safe, structural engineers are giving us data that's safe, and if this is the information that LRP has, we have asked this week, actually last week, to have a sit-down meeting with these guys. They are hiding from it.
Now, let's just give you a sense of where we actually are. We're only around, a couple of streets away from where those original 250 or so residents were evacuated over the last month. As you heard residents say just there in those interviews, they don't believe their homes here on this street are impacted. The council say, and I quote, that this has been taken off of the advice of structural engineers and that they'll continue to engage. But overall, yet more worrying news for the villagers here in Colesnaughton. Emma.
OK, Brandon, many thanks for that. There are heightened tensions tonight in Glasgow as the right to protest clashes with a police call for vigilance about acting on misinformation online. There's anger in some communities across the city and fear facing others who are being incorrectly targeted. It comes as Police Scotland say a case of mistaken identity led a group of protesters to the home of an innocent person this week. Vanessa Taff has a story.
It's the right to protest clashing with the wrong information. This incident in Cranhill in the north of Glasgow kicked off a series of demonstrations which have been whipped up on social media and are sweeping the city.
We've had 3 protests this week across the Glasgow area, And with each of those protests, some of the content online has been false, absolutely false.
The first was in Royston last week after reports of an alleged sexual assault. It was followed by the disorder in Cranhill on Tuesday. Just a day later in Castlemilk, protesters targeted the home of a person they believed to be involved in another sexual assault. Police Scotland have confirmed the target was an innocent person. Several sexual assaults are being investigated across Glasgow, which have happened in recent weeks. This is believed to have sparked vigilante activists online.
And we understand how impactful and emotive that can be in communities. What I think we're seeing though is some people on online anonymous accounts trying to weaponise that to encourage and tap into communities and to create some unrest. That's not me minimising concerns about violence against women and girls, but definitely it's been used in that space at this moment in time.
Some arrests have been made in connection with the disorder. There is another protest planned tonight, and police are warning those attending to think twice.
Well, Vanessa's here now. And Vanessa, aside from the one tonight, there's another protest that police are worried about. What do we know about this?
Yes, that's right. So there's one that's planned for the Postle area this weekend outside a care home. Now, the police told me today that posts online claiming that this care home is going to be used to house asylum seekers simply are not true. They said that anybody who scrolls past, who sees that, needs to be super cautious about that information. Glasgow City Council have also echoed that warning. But the reality is, Emma, there's really a heightened anti-immigration rhetoric in the city. I mean, we saw that this year in particular. Saltire flags went up, you might remember, in lots of towns across Scotland, but particularly in communities in Glasgow. And that really became a symbol of this anti-immigration rhetoric, which a lot of Glaswegians have worked really hard since to try and counter.
Yeah, how can the police get a handle on all of this?
Well, it is very difficult for the police to try and police social media. I mean, we know that the root of these protests has definitely come from there. The problem is that their algorithm just moves at the speed of light, and it is really easy to hide behind a keyboard as well. But I mean, to counter that, you know, you are allowed to protest, you are allowed to share your views online. I guess the warning here from police and other relevant authorities is balancing information that is correct with information that might be coming from bad actors, which is simply not true.
Yeah, Vanessa, thanks for that. Now, the Scottish SPCA is calling for a national register of animal offenders after a couple who abused dogs at their unlicensed animal boarding sites were given a 2-year ban on keeping animals. The owner of an elderly dog named Monty raised the alarm and he returned with huge infected sores and a limp. Gary and Eden Hopkins kept him, along with other dogs, in the kitchen of their house in Lanarkshire in cages. Vidishi Tavari has a story.
I went straight on the phone to her and I said, my exact words were, "What the hell have you done to my dog?"
Last summer, Karen McLeish left her dogs with a boarder she'd never used before. Monty and Hamish were with them for a week. The pair had always been houseboarded. They'd never been kept in cages or crates.
They were local, they were in Lark Hall, and it said on it that she had 8 years experience of looking after animals. I went along to her house, visited her, saw her garden. I explained about Monty being an older dog. He was literally terrified of his own shadow, and I said he needs loads of cuddles and hugs, and yeah, no problem at all, we'll do that.
But when she returned, something felt wrong.
Monty, let me see you walking. Go and let me see, darling. That's a boy. Oh, son. What's happened to you? Open the door and Monty runs straight into the boot of the car. Hamish, he's a very thin dog anyway, just due to his breeds, but I thought he looked thinner than normal. Monty was limping. And I thought, what's going on here? And then I looked at his legs. The front legs were covered in urine stains, they were yellow, and his back legs had loads of what looked like bite marks at that point. The vet had basically said he thought it was like pressure sores, and I had said to him, when you say pressure sores, I said, could that be that they've been in a crate? He did say that there is that possibility.
Karen reported the boarders, Gary and Eden Hopkins, to the Scottish SPCA. It resulted in a court case which heard dogs were being kept in horrific conditions. At one point, 4 dogs were crammed into one cage.
There was a Doberman and a collie that their legs, they were so squashed together that their legs were intertwined. They couldn't move, they were dehydrated and they were covered in urine. It looked to the inspectors that these dogs were in these crates for days, not allowed out, not walked.
The Hopkins admitted to breaching animal welfare legislation in court. They'd been running the business unlicensed. Gary was sentenced to 160 hours of unpaid work, while his wife Eden was handed a restriction of liberty order, keeping her housebound for up to 12 hours a day for 2 months. The pair were also banned from owning or keeping dogs for 2 years. But the Scottish SPCA doesn't think it's nearly enough.
These people can go out and get more pets, more dogs in 2 years' time and cause unnecessary suffering again.
The service is calling for stricter sentencing in animal abuse cases, as well as a national register of offenders.
We do have multi-agency approaches, but it's not enough because it can be a bit disjointed, and that's not the fault of the agencies. But we don't know if the police have convicted an animal owner. There is no database for us to look into that.
It's heartbreaking, because luckily enough Monty survived this, but there could have been, what if we'd been away for 2 weeks? I don't think Monty would have made it. I really don't. I don't know if I can trust anybody ever again.
Vidushi Tavari, STV News.
3 places in Scotland are in the running to be named the first ever UK Town of Culture. Lerwick in Shetland and Leith in Edinburgh have both made a shortlist of 15. So too has the Isle of Bute. Clearly it's not just a town, it's a whole island, but there's plenty going on which saw it fend off another 400 entries from around the UK. Well, we sent Fraser Nicholl to the island to find out more, while Lewis Mickey got the lowdown on Leith.
Could the Town of Culture title soon be sailing these waters? Entries came from far and wide, but Bute's already a winner on board this boat.
I love going over to see Mount Stuart House, walk in the grounds. I've got my swimming costume with me because Ettrick Bay is one of my favourite places to go for a swim.
Fortunate enough, I go through my work and I'm getting paid to go. And it's still, as far as I'm led to believe, still a beautiful, beautiful place.
Just the scenery, it's a glorious day, the architecture as well, and obviously something nice to eat.
Like much of the island, Bute Yard has lots going on. Everything from live music to a monthly market to its own distillery.
So I've moved here in 2020 and I've seen the place grow from strength to strength and get busier and busier, and places opening up in every corner and for all different aspects. So we've got ourselves which tries to hit all ages, and I think everyone has their own idea of what they want to do when they come to an island, and we've got each aspect there.
And whether it's in its art scene or its historic attractions, a lot of work is already being done to regenerate the area. A final prize of £3 million is now within reach, but the shortlisted areas get £60,000 to help with their final bid.
It feels absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's a real testament to everybody on the island and the work that goes on 365 days of the year, so we're absolutely stoked.
It's reaching peak summer season here too, and with weather like this, it's maybe no wonder why it's so popular with day trippers and tourists. It's known by some as an island of dreams. Now the island itself is dreaming of something even bigger. Fraser Nicholl, STV News, on the Isle of Bute.
Yes, well, Leith will have its 900th anniversary in 2028, and this would certainly be a way to celebrate in style. Now, Leith has officially been part of the city of Edinburgh for over 100 years, since 1920. But there's always been this debate as to what actually is the difference between Leith and Edinburgh, and many passionate Leithers will tell you there absolutely is a difference. So today we're out asking residents what makes Leith so special.
It's just a really, really nice, friendly place to live, I think.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere is really nice because, especially on a good day, it's at its best. But everyone comes out for a drink and for a chat and a walk, really.
It's so diverse. It's a port. I think that's probably the first thing. Its history's amazing.
It also feels like it's like part of the city, but you can get away from kind of the tourists of Old Town, which I say as someone who moved here recently, so I know what it's like to be a tourist.
You can see that diversity continuing today, and that diversity persevering, and the great community spirit. I really love both Leith.
There's friends visiting. I'm going to be going to have a meal down there, and I suggested here rather than in the town centre because it's more intimate.
Buildings and the mixing of architecture, and so yeah, love it.
In recent years, there's been plenty of investment in this area, and that's led to it becoming quite a trendy place to be, while still maintaining some of those harder edges that people have come to love. And there's already a thriving cultural scene here, so £3 million would certainly make an impact on that. People already love to visit Leith, but maybe this accolade would mean that many more will do so as well. Lewis Mickey, STV News, Leith.
Vapes could be put in plain packaging under proposals aiming to stop the devices being marketed to children. A consultation is underway on plans to restrict how tobacco, vaping and nicotine products are presented and displayed to make them less appealing to young people.
There is an age of sale and that's been in place for a while, but young people still use the product. So I think this is really making sure that attractiveness, appeal, the visibility of them is removed. And I think that will make a difference. It's not taking vaping away from people trying to quit smoking. It's just dealing with non-smokers and young people who are vaping.
Well, time for the sport now with Raman.
Your window to sport. C.R. Smith sponsors STV Sport.
A very good evening from the Renaissance Club on day 2 of the Scottish Open, and it's been another cracking day here in East Lothian. There have been a few low scores, and England's Jordan Smith and South Korea's Tom Kim are the players to catch. They are the clubhouse leaders on 9 under par. But wait for this, 2023 champion Rory McIlroy is out in the course right now through 15 holes. He's also on 9 under par, and Robert McIntyre is climbing up the leaderboard. He's currently on 7 under par. Here's Jamie Borthwick.
Dawn broke on day 2 of the Scottish Open with barely a breath of wind in the air. Ideal conditions for scoring, and Matt Fitzpatrick didn't need telling twice. The Yorkshireman made 5 birdies in a row on his way to a round of 65.
Wow! That was about an inch away from a hole in one.
Trying to manage the rest of it the best I can. And from a technical standpoint and physical and mental and all that good stuff, and just trying to kind of ride the wave, I guess.
World number 1 Scotty Scheffler hasn't missed a cut in 78 tournaments, but his week looks to be over as he came in level par for his 2 rounds.
I didn't really feel like I played that bad. This golf course, I think, can be just tough at times. There's some bumps and downs out there.
England's Jordan Smith posted the low score of the tournament with a 63, which gave him the clubhouse lead on 9 under.
I putted really, really well today. Felt really comfortable on the greens, hold some nice long putts. But yeah, just felt really, really relaxed out there, which is nice.
Star attractions Rory McIlroy and Robert McIntyre were back on the course this afternoon. McIlroy wasted no time in building on his strong opening round, and he was soon back at the top of the leaderboard. He was then joined by South Korea's Tom Kim, whose late run of birdies saw him finish on 9 under par. Patience was the name of the game for McIntyre as he started with 8 straight pars before he finally found the birdie trail at 9. And how about this for a contender for shot of the week? Australia's Adam Scott with a magical pitch-in birdie on the 2nd hole. Jamie Borthwick, STV Sport.
Yes, what a cracking shot that was from Adam Scott. Well, the Renaissance Club has hosted the Scottish Open since 2019, attracting crowds year after year. But what do the spectators do here when they're having a break from the golf? We went out and about to find out. For the 2nd day running, the sun has been out, and it's not just the players who have been making the most of the conditions. And a hot day means a busy day for some.
The Scottish Open is always so fun. I've done it for a couple of years, and just kind of seeing the atmosphere is really great. Everyone always seems really happy to be there.
Are they all good eggs, or can you spot a dangerous customer?
You know, they're all good eggs. Everyone's
Tell us the truth.
Everyone at the Scottish Open are good eggs.
You'll be back next year.
Yeah.
How's your day been?
It's been fantastic, enjoyable. The sun's made it a great day. Good golf. Happy as Larry.
Good beer?
It's my first one.
Do any of you tell the truth?
No. No, absolutely not.
Not really.
It's his birthday today.
Oh, is it?
No.
Really good golfer as well.
You got me there. Talk us through this hat.
Oh,
They're giving them away, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was from the Lost and Found box at the front there. Like, so yeah, I thought I needed something to cover the snapper. Otherwise, I'd be red as a lobster.
Yeah, you do.
I bet you're not even on the telly either, are you?
Talk us through this. What is this prize and what?
This is fried chicken Korean meal.
Okay, you're eating it a bit slowly, is it rank? And for a lot of these youngsters, it's a great opportunity to get those all-important autographs and selfies. Any selfies?
No, not yet.
Any selfies?
Nah, not yet.
Any selfies?
No, not yet.
Are you hopeful?
Yeah, hopefully.
How about you, young man?
I managed to get Billy Horshaw.
Oh,
He's
wow.
my favourite golfer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, this is the media centre, and journalists from all over the world are here to cover the Scottish Open.
So I think in a global context, it's pretty big. I mean, it's a co-sanctioned event between DP World Tour and PGA Tour, so you've got biggest names on the PGA Tour that are here, biggest names on DP World Tour that are here as well, and you know, a little bit out of their comfort zone, playing links golf over here, but gives them a chance to get adjusted before they go to the Open. So I think it's good theatre for everybody.
Well, while the top pros play on the course, there are areas like this for novices like me. So just how hard is it getting a golf ball from here to the pin? Let's have a go. Always was more of a cricket man. That was absolutely rubbish. Didn't matter how many times I tried, the end product was always the same. Okay, let's move on from golf to football news. And after becoming Celtic's first summer signing, Camilo Duran hopes the move to the Scottish champions will help him gain international recognition with Colombia. The forward, who's joined from Azerbaijan's side Karabag in a £6 million transfer, has signed a 5-year contract. Duran also says it's an honour to become the first Colombian player to sign for Celtic. Cammy Devlin has ended his 5 years at Hearts. That after the club revealed the midfielder failed to meet a deadline to accept a new contract. Devlin made 178 appearances for the Tynecastle side, scoring 8 goals. He leaves under freedom of contract, meaning he is available on a free contract. St. boss Craig McLeish says the club are close to completing a deal to sign West Brom striker Esosa Sule. Meanwhile, after captain Mark O'Hara left the club to join Kilmarnock, Marcus Fraser has been named new skipper ahead of the new season.
I had a chat during the week with the manager and the coaching staff, and they asked me to if I would like to take the role on, and of course I jumped at the chance, and I just thanked them and appreciate it. Since I've been in for the end of the season to now, they've really backed me and showed faith in me. So no, I'm just happy, and hopefully I can reward them with performances in the pitch, and obviously gelling all the new guys together as well. So no, I'm really looking forward to it.
From football to rugby news, and this is why we play the sport. The words of Scotland captain Sione Tuipulotu ahead of the national team's massive game against world champion South Africa tomorrow. It's the Dark Blues' second match in the Nations Championship, and Tuipulotu says this may be the last time he plays a game of such magnitude.
This is why I started playing rugby when I was 12 years old, you know, to be in these types of weeks, preparing with this type of group, with an opportunity, you know, to play the world champions in their backyard. I think this was just why I started, you know. I'm not going to get this opportunity again to be coached by this coaching staff, to play with this group of players, you know, in the current state of where I am in my own career.
Your window to sport. C.R. Smith sponsors STV Sport.
That, folks, is just about all of your sport for me live from the Renaissance Club on day 2 of the Scottish Open, where Jordan Smith and Tom Kim are the joint clubhouse leaders. Bye for now and have a great weekend.
Right, thanks for that. And what a glorious day for it. It has been pretty warm out there, Philip. Not going to lie, I could do with it being a couple of degrees cooler this weekend. Is that what's going to happen? But no rain, please.
Yes, it will be dipping a little bit this weekend, but the temperatures will climb next week. I can make sure that things are looking nice Monday and Tuesday, but before that we're seeing some annoying cloud moving in. Now today the cloud has been worst across the north and west, but then tomorrow that cloud moves a little further south and east, just in time for the start of the weekend. We'll see the temperatures take a bit of a dip, but then come Sunday it clears away and we'll see more sunshine, clear skies and temperatures. Let's take a closer look at what's in store. Here is your forecast.
Midday Mayan temples, followed by sunny afternoons on the sand. TUI sponsors STV Weather.
Well, despite the high pressure dominating our weather this weekend, which normally brings fine, dry and bright conditions, throughout Saturday and Sunday, like I said, we'll see the return of that pesky cloud. Because we're in an easterly airflow, eastern areas will be plagued by the low cloud, the mist and the har rolling in off the North Sea overnight, but that will burn back day by day. As we start the weekend, we'll start to see temperatures taking a bit of a dip, but as we head into Monday and Tuesday and the brightness returns, the temperatures will start to climb once again. Back to just now as we head into the overnight period, this cold front is slowly sinking south and southeastwards. It will bring with it the focus of a band of cloud, and also we'll start to see some scattered showers bubbling up. So temperatures not dropping too far overnight, lows of around 13 or 14 degrees Celsius because of all that cloud. First thing tomorrow morning, that frontal system continues to clear away to the south and the southeast. We'll start the day with that mist and low cloud around eastern coastal parts. That will burn back by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon. The best of any brightness will be to the south and the southwest, and that's where we see the highest temperatures tomorrow, highs of around 23 or 24 degrees Celsius. Then looking ahead to Sunday, it does look like the better day of the weekend. That's when we start to see the cloud breaking up, more in the way of sunny spells, and temperatures once again reaching highs of around 24, possibly 25. Bye-bye.
TUI sponsors STV Weather.
Well, that's all from us for now. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening and have a lovely weekend. Good night.